advantages you can take it over Angular or React JS?
Actually, there was a benefit of the react.js because it's following the virtual DOM, because sometimes in the react, when we are updating any of value or any of states, it not be re-rendering the again. So this is the main benefit. But as compared to the angular, when we are updating any of variable or something, so it will re-render the or entire screen. So that's the some benefit which is provided by react, or also the coming in the redux form. So this is the all good as compared to other technology. So that's the main advantage of the react. We can use the redux, or it's based on the virtual dom. So this is the some benefits of the react.
How we can test the React JS, or how we can do the localization with React?
Localization with,
React.
yes, as we can use that. We have a one package for that, I-180 next something. So this is
Yeah,
the one
correct.
package which is providing providing to interface for the localization for multiple languages.
Okay, what is a React router?
Basically, React router we are using for the routing the your application for the lazy loading, because in the single page application, we have to load the component based on our path. So inside the router, we are declaring the or paths for loading the component based on the path one by one.
Okay. So what is a reconciliation in React?
Actually, reconciliation, basically we are using reconciliation in the simple words. Sometimes we are following the because sometimes re-rendering the or data, or re-rendering the again props, or refreshing the screen. So that's why in the react we are using the reconciliation, because it's not re-render the data again and again. And second thing is it's reconciliation in the suppose sometimes we are using the multiples calculations or looping thing. So they are we have some predefined methods we can use for that.
Okay.
So when we are managing those things, so this is the reconciliation thing.
Okay. What are the life cycle methods of React?
In the class component or functional component.
Yeah, class component.
Okay, class component. So basically, class component, we have a component did mount, component will unmount, and render method component will receive props, and get drive state props. So component will receive props is duplicated with get drive state props. So this is the some life cycle methods.
Okay. So what is a React fiber? Do you know React fiber?
Yes, as React Fibers. React Fibers, basically we are this is the one package which we are using inside our React. So React Fiber, basically that providing the some interface or applications, like when we are using the React Fiber. So it's some kind of some kind of what we can say, it's a uh, uh, rendering thing something. So that's why I think we are using the React
Mhm.
Fiber. Some
Okay.
configuration dependencies, I think.
Mhm. Okay. So what are the synthetic events in React?
Synthetic events like component did mount, component will mount, the synthetic events.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Synthetic events like when we are a event listener, or something like when we are on click or accessing the any of elements using by
Okay.
ref.
Okay. Okay. So what are the advantages you tell? No, what is the drawback using React JS?
What is the drawback of?
React JS.
Mm, mm,
So you are telling advantages, right? Some disadvantages also there, no drawbacks.
yes, some disadvantages over there, like sometimes mm, disadvantages, I think sometimes suppose when we have to when we have to what we can say, first thing, we cannot be access on the hardwares, like you cannot access your hardware thing like a keyboard, and other external hardware device using by React. So this is the first thing, and second thing, this is the a single page application, so you can do only for on browser, and you cannot be access anything out of the browser. And uh, and also there was a what we can say, we cannot uh, one more disadvantage, if we are not using the Redux, then you have the same process like as other technologies.
So how do you test your React application?
Test, you mean say unit test or something normal testing?
Yeah, unit test.
Unit basically just I have recently started the jest cases for the testing,
Yeah.
learning the jest
So
cases.
can you give sample test cases? What are the things you have to done?
Yeah, actually shallow copy a shallow test have used that, or also have the render thing, because
Mm.
this is the one package which is a component render test
Okay.
package name. So there are some, because recently have started the testing thing, because now before I'm just focusing on the development only, but recently 1 and 2 months have started the learning the basic concept of the jest cases.
Okay. So so just using what is a just in React?
Sorry,
Just JEST. You heard
what's
about
the use?
just? Yeah.
Yes, just basically suppose we have create the one component, okay, so
Yes.
we have to create the we have to test the jest cases for that. So we will create the one file inside our test folder, underscore test folder, and that we are declaring in your package json file path, where you can, where from where he can access our test cases. So we just using for testing the your components, the or values, are you are sending correctly, or some variables is, because sometimes we are sending the values directly and sometimes it's a warning. So that's these type of checkings we are using the jest cases, because that will returning the pure correct values.
Okay. Okay. You worked on Flux, huh? What is the
Sorry?
Flux? Flux.
Flux,
Yeah.
flux for in the React, in the React.
Yeah. Yeah. You heard about right? Flex. Flex is
Yes,
yeah. What is Flex?
actually not here, not used in the React. I have not used the Flux. Actually, Flux basically another normal Flux have used in the HTML, in the HTML.
Yeah. Yeah. Normal Flux only. I'm asking.
Yes, so Flux element you are asking,
Yeah. Yeah.
Flux
Correct.
model something,
The
right?
Flex is you can design like MEC pattern, right?
Yes, MVC pattern. Okay,
Yeah.
Flex. Okay, so basically Flex, basically we are using for the, suppose we have to create the some models like any of showing the confirmation model or some pop-up, so we are using the flex model for that.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So
It's a html property, html properties.
you worked on Redux, right?
Yes, have word one
So
Redux,
what
yes.
is the Redux?
Actually Redux, it is a an state management system which we are using for state management. Redux is it's a package which is
Mm-hmm.
provided, which is which is using for the or state management, like some because when we are using the Redux, then you can update your state based on our action type, and you can access anywhere using web props.
Okay. Okay. So which application you are using React.js in your
Which
project, right? Yeah. Yeah. In your project, where you using, how you can develop the application? Like it is in mobile application or desktop, how it is work?
actually basically you are saying about the platform wise, right? How
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Correct.
can,
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
how we can use the same application in the mobile browser and
Yeah. Yeah.
iPad and,
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so basically we have a same code. There is a no changes about the code, just only some dependency which we are using over there for like a CSS for using media query. Used by media query, we are handling the or resolutions screens based on iPad or mobile, or
Okay.
large screen,
So are you
whatever.
using any tool to develop this React.js code, or how you can develop?
So which tool you are asking, like
So you have to develop the code, right? How you can develop the React.js? How you can build?
how we can how I
Yeah,
can build? Okay, so
yeah, yeah.
first of all we have to set up the globalization, which globalization, it's a React creative npm install minus g create a new app. Okay, and after that you can create a new app as a blankly, and after that you have to install the npm, then you have to run some command for build creating the build npm run build, so build will be created.
Okay. So it is a how so how we can handle the asynchronous call. So suppose I have calling in different different modules. How we can handle this asynchronous calls in React?
Asynchronous call, actually if we are calling the suppose if we are using the async api calling, right? So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can use saga for that, because saga is the best way for async process. Okay,
Which one?
that's sagas, if we are calling
Saga.
the api, if we are calling the api for api
Okay.
purpose only, so we can use the
Mm.
saga. And for the for any of conditions or any of checking the multiple values, we can using the async await for that. Or second way, we can put the promises as well. So promises also the returning the final value over there, because when the promise is firing, so it's first initially is loaded, it's returning the pending value, and after that getting the success or fail, then it will return the final data. So we can async process, we can use the await as well if we are when we are calling the api, or we can use the promises as well for locally checking.
Okay. So write one sample message with using React. Like I want to display the message called "Welcome to React World" like this. Can you write in some small program how we can do that in React?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, yeah. Can you share the screen?
Okay. Uh, so just give me a sec. Where is the share screen? Actually, I'm not able to see where is the share screen option.
Here is there, right? So
Yes, yes,
share
yeah,
button
yes, yeah,
green.
yes, 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 there. Sorry, I forgot. Yes, now are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, yeah, I can see.
Okay. So what you want to write? Welcome.
Yeah, just message "Welcome to React World."
So where I can put in the create a new project or something like.
Yeah, create a new project. Just message only, right? You can display.
So in the my project,
Yeah.
so actually have to create the new project for that. So can I create?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, create.
Okay, just give me a second, because I have an already existing project. So if you want to, so I can just put the inside the render, so that will
Yeah,
show
yeah,
up.
that's fine. Yeah, 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 you can do it inside project only.
Okay, so just give me a second. This is my, I think there is any existing project. Okay, now so I'm just putting over there. So there is the some login is where is the login modules. This is the login.tsx. Okay, so now here you want to see something. Welcome to the React, right?
Yeah, yeah, correct. Yes, yes.
Okay, so now just I'm coming over here. Just put the. Now as you can see, this is our text.
Okay.
Actually, there was some CSS. Actually, that's why it's showing in the left.
Yeah, okay. So you know how we can connect the database also, right? Database.
Yes, yes, using by REST APIs, we are
Yeah.
yes, using by REST APIs, we can connect with the database.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fine for me. Yeah, you can disconnect the sharing. Okay. So in
Can
React,
I stop the screen?
yeah, you can stop sharing.
Okay.
So, you heard about right React localization, right internationalization. So how we can do with some
Mhm.
different languages? Suppose I want application in Japanese, Chinese, like these languages. How we can do that?
Basically, we have a one a common method which is one package which is the I18 annexed. So we
Yeah.
can use that for that uh, for the localization. Because in my
Okay.
recently project which I have shared before, just I shared, this is the
Okay.
based on the localization, Japanese and
Okay.
English.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yes.
you know styled component. What are the styled components?
Style component basically we are using for the suppose when we have to create the when we have to create the temporary UI, or when we have to create the UI for and put the some CSS properties. So this is the style components
Okay.
where you can put the our CSS.
So what is the purpose using React Native applications?
Purpose of React Native.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, React Native basically this is the mobile platform application.
Correct.
Yeah, so this is the for mobile Android and iOS as well.
Okay.
Yes, because if we are using the a web application, so it will
Mm,
support only for browser things. Not cannot be access your permissions like access your contact, access your access your what we can say, it's your local directory or something like this. But in the
okay.
if we are going with the mobile application, then they are allowing the multiple feature like you can take our photo, you can create the video, and you can upload, and these kinds of multiple processing we can handle in the mobile app. That's
Okay.
why React Native is.
You know JSX.
Yes, have used that. My current one project is based on the GSX.
So what is the JSX?
Actually, GSX basically this is the upgrade form of the or JS, because we can create the project in the both of the forms like a .js or .jsx. But
Mm-hmm.
the main benefit of the GSX, when we are using the GSX, then you have to declare the all the modules and all the models. Suppose when we are calling the any of API, or when we're getting the response, we have to declare the models what we are getting from the server, like a first name, last name, or object name. So we have to create for each and everything for the models. And also when we are creating any of variables, so we have to declare you are sending the number value, string value, or this is the array value, or some kinds of thing. So basically the main benefit of GSX, we are declaring the every variable as a specified data type. But in the GS, it's not required to declare the data type.
Okay. So what are the events in React?
Events,
Yeah.
yeah, on click events, on change
Correct.
events.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and there was a multiples also the default values. So there are
Mm-hmm.
multiples events over there.
So how to make Ajax call in Redux? You know Ajax, right?
Yes, yes, without refreshing without
Yeah.
refreshing the screen, it's update the our screen in background.
Okay. How we can do?
Yeah, basically we are just call the accent based on our condition in the background. Because
Okay.
when we are called our action, then that action will be checked in our action type cases. And if there is a match or type action type, then it will update the state based on our uh, updation
So,
value.
so what is a bootstrap in how many ways you can do the bootstrap in React?
How many ways? Actually, we have
Yeah.
only one. I think in the simply mostly we are using the Bootstrap based on the package based, because now all the technologies are based on the packages. So firstly, we are installing the Bootstrap package, and after that, we are importing the Bootstrap on our top of the component in the
Mm-hmm.
main root file index.js. Then
Mm.
we can use anywhere our class name like a call md, call 3, call 4, these kinds of.
So what is the use if you're doing the bootstrap? Add your application.
Sorry.
what is the advantages if you do the bootstrap?
If I do the bootstrap, so there was a
Yeah.
multiple, there was a many advantages if we are using the bootstrap, because there is a predefined CSS libraries. So
Okay.
we can just put in our div elements or any of elements, and you can use that like a display flags container. When we are using the container property, then it will all automatically pattern from the left, right, and top, bottom, or something call 3, call 4, and tables and buttons properties like a primary, secondary, and danger, or multiples property over there like a font weight or font small. So XL, XMS, SM. So multiples properties we can use. So if we are not using the bootstrap, then you have to write the all the CSS customly. That's why we are using some bootstrap for predefined libraries.
So you worked in HTML5 also, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, so how do you make? So what are the new things like if you come from HTML5? So what is the advantages of using HTML5 rather than normal HTML4?
Actually, after coming the HTML5, there is a multiple benefits, because sometimes, because before the audio will be not supported, but
Yeah.
after HTML5 it will be automatically supported. Just put the audio tag and you can use that, and same for video, and the same thing for after coming the HTML, you can access the, you can put the our what we can say, it's a mm, mm, uh, mm, what we can say, some improvements of the tags like a h2, h5, h3.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the some benefits which is providing in the HTML5, or also the putting the value like a checkbox or radio values. This is the
You
some
worked on
benefit.
hook,
Sorry.
hooks.
Yes, have worked on hooks, because this is the latest version of the React.
Yeah, yeah. So what are the uses of using hooks in React?
Use of basically use hooks. Basically, this is the upgrade form of the React, because before we are using the class component, but now after upgrading the React, it's totally completely change onto the functional based components. Inside the functional based component, now we are using the use effect and use state. So that's why this is the hooks which we are using in our inside our application, like a use state or use effect. Use state, it's a variable state declaration which we are using for rendering our data or storing the data in a temporary basis. And the use effect, basically we are using for firing of any of function or any of API, or conditional based calling. So that's why we are using the use effect. Or use effect, we can call using by multiples we can call in the multiple ways, like if you have to call the only for initially only one time, when you are come on the components, you just pass the blank array. And when you have to pass the conditionally, like when suppose you have put the, when I get the first name value, then it will call. So you can just pass the your state value and props value, so then it will fire based on that. Or same way, if you want multiple conditions, so you can pass the multiple values inside the array in the comma separated, so it will be fire.
Okay, can you write a small code how we can read the data with the React hooks?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, can write the code.
uh,
Can you
can
share
I
the
share my,
screen? Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yes, yes. Okay, okay, yeah. So you know MobX?
Yes, Movex basically, no, have not used that Movex, but have a little bit of knowledge about the Movex. Movex just using for as a Redux, but it's not fast as compared to Redux.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay,
because have not used in my project, but have a just theoretical knowledge about this.
okay. You know concurrent rendering?
Concrete rendering,
Yeah,
concrete or concrete?
concurrent. See, simultaneously rendering the application
Simul-
sometimes.
Okay, concurrent rendering. So
Yeah.
basically, we are putting the some conditional based rendering for concrete. Suppose we have our one data, and then based on that we have to show another view. So this is when we are using the conditional things when we are managing conditional things. So that's a concrete rendering.
So what is the prop drilling?
Prop drilling, basically we are suppose sometimes we have to update the any of value, because prop we cannot be update directly. So when we have to update the props, so we will have, when we are updating any props, so that's a prop drilling.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. In JavaScript, you know